I would like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Shut Up Already podcast, where we discuss everything related to sports. It's your boy K.
And it's your boy P. Feeve, a.k.a. Mr. Nobody.
And at this time, I would like to thank King Neppy for all the fresh wear. Now, let's transition into this. So Derek Carr recently posted comments on Twitter saying that he would be willing to fight Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith in a UFC fight based on comments made on First Take questioning his desire to play football. So my question is, who will win in a UFC fight between Derek Carr and Stephen A. Smith?
So, first and foremost, I've actually bumped into Stephen A. Smith on the sidelines at the Redskins game, and by no means is that a small individual. Like, Stephen A. is not a frail-looking guy. He's a pretty solid guy.
I mean, he built like a football player.
Yeah, pretty much. So then when you look at Derek Carr, the only thing is I say 6'3", young, 6'1", 51. I think the youth is going to get the best of that. Now, when it comes to, if you was asking if Derek Carr versus Max Kellerman, it's going to be like a Mike Tyson fight. It's like there's no chance Max Kellerman down in 30 seconds.
Blink twice and it's over?
Yeah, it's not even going to happen. I mean, it's not even going to be a fight. It's not even going to be worth anything. You know, remember like back in the day with Mike Tyson, you spend $90 and it only lasts a minute.
30 seconds?
Yeah, man. Like that's how that whole bout is going to go down. But to answer your question between Derek Carr and Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to lean more towards Derek Carr.
I was thinking about the difference in age, but I think Stephen A. would get him, man.
Man, I mean, but you think about
think about it for a second. Stephen A's from Queens, man. I ain't never met no soft person from Queens. And you got to understand something. Earlier this year, Derek Carr's own teammates was questioning his toughness, and they accused the man of crying on the football field.
I mean, but when we talk about Queens, I mean, I ain't never met 51-year-old arthritis from Queens. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to take that into consideration. Like, Queens is, yeah, no doubt, no disrespect, but arthritis is a monster. So you just got to just remember that.
I mean, Stephen A., 6'1", built like a football player, and he got grown man strength.
Yeah,
you forget about that.
Yeah, he got grown man strength, but he still got that one-a-day vitamin he taking.
But if he just get his hands on Derek Carr, man, he'd be done.
I beg to differ. So.
See, you just keep thinking about the fact that Derek Carr is a football player, but let's not forget he's a quarterback, so he spends his whole time trying not to get hit.
Yeah, but
that's the difference.
But he's an athlete that's active. You know, that's the part. You know, when I saw Stephen A. Smith on the sideline at the game, he wasn't running up and down the field. He was in a suit, walking. That's his job. Like Derek Carr's running, weight room. Not saying that Stephen A. may not. I mean,
Stephen A. look like he work out.
Yeah, he might work out, but at the same time, you know, ailments as you get older, man, everything don't work the same. You know, he might get that first initial lockup. He might show Derek Carr a little something that may make Derek Carr respect him. But in the end, that youth is gonna win. That youth is gonna win. I'm trying to tell you. My money is on Derek Carr.
So y'all hearing talking about old people, right? But look, man, I'm just trying to tell you, man. I know he probably won't be able to last several rounds because of his endurance, because of his age. I get that. But if he get his hands on him in the first couple of rounds, I think he'll take Derek Carr out, man.
It's not gonna be a couple of rounds because that age is gonna tell within the first round. By the time he get the prancing around in there, it's not gonna be what you think it is. And we're talking about UFC. We're not talking about the sweet science. We're talking about grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you know, striking. We're talking about all of that. Stuff that when you see young people doing, you know, participating in this sport, they're winded after a minute and a half. So if a young person is winded in a minute and a half, what do you think that's going to do to a 51-year-old man? it's gonna win him too.
Okay. I'm gonna say this again in case you didn't hear me the first time. His own teammates earlier this year, Derek Carr got hit in the shoulder in a game, was laid out on the ground, and his own teammates accused him of crying on the football field. So this man, the sport that he plays, a contact sport, can't get hit without crying on the field. So you telling me that this man gonna be able to take a punch to the face? Man, I'm telling you right now, Stephen A. punched him in the face one time, he out.
I'd have to ask the question: how big was him lineman that hit him?
Look, I think LL said it best. Mama said knock you out.
I still think Derek Carr got him though, but that's me.
All right. So Kalen Saunders, a defensive tackle for Western Illinois, stayed at the Senior Bowl as his fiancee went into labor. So my question to you is, do you feel he made the right decision?
I would have been there when my baby was being born. I would have been at the hospital. I mean, I get the Senior Bowl and all, but
I don't. But
you only experience the birth of your child, but so many times, and that moment when life enters this world, that's a precious moment, and I don't think for any father that you should miss that. So I say no. I would have been at the hospital. Football could wait on that one.
all right. So I actually agree with you on that. I think this is the first time we've actually agreed on the topic. But I'm gonna be honest. I have 3, and I was there to see the birth of my kids, and there's nothing like it in the world. But the reason why I say he should have been there for a couple of different reasons. His main reason why he says that he think he made the right decision in staying at the game is because he says that he think you're a bad father if you can't provide for your kids. But I feel that even if he couldn't provide by playing football, football is not the only job in the world. So he still could go out and get a job and have a means to provide for his kids. I don't think that's a good enough excuse.
We're talking college football, right?
Yeah.
What is he getting paid?
But his argument is he wanted to play in the Senior Bowl because that was another opportunity for NFL scouts to see him play. So it would make him have better odds as far as going into the NFL draft. Because he played for a small school, so he felt this was a big stage for him to be able to showcase his talent. But here's the thing, though. I looked it up. They already have him picked to go in the 4th round of the NFL draft right now.
Before the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, you know how they make like the mock
draft?
Yeah,
absolutely.
they already got him projected to go at least in the 4th round. So my thing is, even if he didn't play in the Senior Bowl, more than likely he's going to get drafted in the NFL draft. So he's still going to be able to provide for his baby. The argument that he was making why he couldn't go.
I think that was the excuse he gave his old lady
Yeah.
why he couldn't be there. I don't think necessarily that was valid. I think that's just where he wanted to be. That's me. I'm not going to, I don't want to knock the young man, but to me, if this is my child being born, I want to be there. There's not a lot of things that would hinder me from that. And, there's no price tag on it. You can't get that back. Once that birth is over, it's not like you can hit the rewind button. It's not DVR. You can't pause and
Can't get it back.
Rewind it back. So, I believe, and what I feel, my opinion, he should have been at the hospital.
Y'all heard the man. He said he can't put a price tag on birth.
No price tag on birth. Should have been at the hospital.
I almost think that we might have to get this man to shut up already award. I'm just saying.
Shut up.
All right. Got a question for you.
Shoot.
So do you think LeBron James should play in the All-Star game this year?
How many games has he missed?
Right now he's missed 15 straight consecutive games.
And how many games have they played the entire season already?
Somewhere around 30.
30. So he's missed half the season.
Something like that.
So his stats without him playing are just that good that garners him a automatic grandfather slot on the All-Star team? What about the rest of the people that are there night in, night out, giving 150, 200% that are making stats? I say, let him sit out. Why would he take you know, that slot from someone that could have earned that slot, through perseverance and hard work, that could actually have, showed up every night on the court and made it happen. And because King James comes back,
you don't ever question the king.
man, it's not that serious.
So I like the angle that you're taking on it, but to answer your question, I think it has a lot to do with the fans get a vote. Actually, I think the fans get 50% of the vote. Because the All-Star game is really all built around what the fans want. It's just an exhibition game, so they're trying to give the fans the experience that they want. So if the fans make up 50%, the fans want to see King James play. So that's how he got. Not only did he get voted in the All-Star game, he was voted in as a captain. He's the captain of one of the teams.
If that's what they want, I wouldn't do it.
You got to get the people what they want.
I wouldn't. For me, I wouldn't. If he ain't played half the season, why is he an All-Star? Why is he an All-Star? He ain't played half the season up to this point.
Y'all hear the man? He basically saying that King James ain't an All-Star. So I wouldn't go that far. But I feel that he shouldn't play because of the fact that he's still hurt. So I'm taking it a different way. I'm looking at it like this. Why take the chance of re-aggravating the injury for a game that doesn't really count for anything? It's like an exhibition game. I mean, they've already proven that without LeBron James on the Lakers, there's a good chance they're not going to the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start today, they would be out of the playoffs. So obviously they need LeBron healthy to have a good chance of making the playoffs. So my thing is, why even risk it? Why take the chance?
And why not give someone else an opportunity to be in the game? That's all I'm saying.
You saying if you were him, he should just want to step down and give somebody an opportunity because he should feel that he really didn't earn it or deserve it because he didn't miss.
I'm just saying, if he ain't played half the game, I mean, if the fan, look, check it. If that's what the fans want, give it to them. That's what they want. They want to see the same people all the time. I say get somebody new. Let's see some other people. There's going to be plenty of All-Stars after LeBron James. Give them the platform.
So Jamal Adams, a New York Jets strong safety, was at the Pro Bowl and was signing autographs for fans when he decided to take off sprinting down the sideline to tackle the Patriots mascot. So do you feel it was okay for Jamal Adams to tackle the Patriots mascot?
He might have just thought he was joking around. It was probably thought it was light-hearted, nothing to it. Now the question is, how hard did he tackle him? Was he just like a quick swipe? Or?
Yeah, he didn't tackle him that hard.
Okay, I don't see anything wrong with it. To me, I think it was all good fun.
And I think he was thinking that, the mascot uniforms are normally kind of plush. So I guess he was thinking that even when the guy hit the ground that he wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah, but it all depends on how hard he hit the ground and did he know who was in the uniform?
I don't think the NFL player knows who's inside of the uniform. It was supposed to be funny because, the Jets and the Patriots are rivals.
Right.
So it's just the fact that, he's a Jets player. He get an opportunity to tackle the Patriots mascot, and he's probably getting sick and tired of the Patriots.
It's a good photo op.
Yeah, he knew that everybody in the crowd would think it was funny because they understand that they're rivals and stuff.
Right. Okay, I get it. Yeah, I still think it was just lighthearted, just having a little fun, as long as nobody got hurt.
But see, that's the thing. The guy inside of the mascot, I don't think he received serious injuries, but he did get hurt.
Wow. Now, I mean, yeah, you have to watch that.
Can't be going around just hurting people, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But sometimes you gotta have some good fun, man. I mean, but you don't want nobody to get hurt. But you know, it brings a little excitement to it. It's like, whoa, you know, what happened over there? But at any rate, nobody should ever get hurt behind a little fun. But you see it all the time. You see it at baseball games. You see the mascot get tackled or poking fun at the players. It's like a normal thing. But if somebody got hurt, man, that ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. And I hope that person has a speedy recovery. But, I still think that, we living in a world where everything offends everybody. And, some people could take that the wrong way. But, I mean, it's just good, lighthearted fun. He probably didn't mean anything by it. Wasn't intentional. Hope the guy has a speedy recovery. And we move on to the next.
So I just want y'all to understand out there that I'm all for people having fun. But in this case, the only problem I had with it is I think it should have been a little bit more staged. I mean, the NFL pretty much, especially with stuff like that, they stage pretty much everything else. I mean, to think that you're an NFL player and you going to tackle. See, the thing that I guess the issue I had, he tackled him from the back, so the guy didn't even see him coming.
Oh.
See what I'm saying? It would have been different if the guy would have been facing him and seen him coming. He could have kind of braced for the impact.
That changes things.
See, so he hit him from the back. And he just hit the ground, so he didn't even know that the tackle or any of that was coming.
So now, from my perspective, had he got him from the front and then he could see him coming, then he could brace himself. But what you saying is, he snapped him from the back and he had no. Oh wow!
And then when he hit him, his whole body weight pretty much came down on top of him.
Wow.
But again, I think the NFL player didn't think it was an issue because, I mean, if you look at the video, you could tell that he really didn't put a lot of force into the hit. But I think it's just the fact that it was unexpected is probably what got him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Speedy recovery.
So I got another question for you.
Shoot.
So who do you think lost the NFC Championship game for the Saints? The NFL refs or the head coach Sean Payton?
I blame the refs. I saw the call. That call could have changed the whole dynamic of the game.
It would have.
And what about yourself?
I think in the big scheme of things, I think the head coach lost in the game.
So elaborate on that.
See, you got to understand, there's a lot of plays that lead up to a play. So
Right.
So I'm going to paint the whole scenario for you.
Okay. All right.
Because I know I'm not the only one that was thinking this. So when Drew Brees threw that long pass to Ted Ginn Jr., it was right at 2 minutes left in the game. That put the Saints at the 12-yard line, right?
Got you.
So common sense would tell you that you run the ball 3 times, you make the Rams use both of their timeouts, and then the Rams would have been left with not that much time left on the clock with no timeouts to try to at least kick a field goal to just tie the game. But what does Sean Payton do? He wants to prove that he's the smartest guy in the room, so he throws the ball on first down. But if it's an incomplete pass, guess what? It stops the clock. So the clock stopped. So that allowed the Rams to save one of their timeouts.
Wow.
So if he just would have ran the ball 3 times, let all the time run out or as much as they could.
So what you're saying is this is just a bad coaching call.
Yeah.
Because they just could have put the nail in the coffin versus trying to prove a point.
Well, let me ask you this question: if they would have ran the ball 3 times and then kicked the field goal and then kicked the ball back to the Rams with 40-some seconds left in the game with no timeouts, do you think the Rams would have been able to get in good position to either kick a decent field goal or score a touchdown to win the game?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think that the refs
on that controversial call?
Yeah, on that critical call could have shifted. Even with the bad coaching decision, the refs, in my opinion,
They blew a call.
that cost them, the Saints, the game in the end.
So what I did, because I wanted to see how bad this call was, right? Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't a missed call.
Gotcha.
I think it should have never got to that point. But I went back and looked at where the ref was standing at on that play.
Gotcha.
And when you look at that play in slow-mo, it does look egregious. Like, it looks like, how in the world did he miss this call, right? But if you go back and you look at that play at full speed, like at regular speed, it kind of looks like a bang-bang play. Like, I do get that the guy, he did make helmet-to-helmet contact, but even those calls get called half the time. Half the time they call them, half the time they don't. So that's a crapshoot.
Absolutely.
But if you look at where the ball landed, if you look at when he hit the guy in reference to where the ball came, it's like a split-second decision. And what ref is going to want to make the call that's going to totally change the outcome of the game in that moment? If it looks like a bang-bang play, they're going to let it go. And that's what the ref did.
Yeah, but it looked like he got. I mean, it looks like he's for some reason like somebody just turned it and looked the other way.
Swallowed the whistle, right?
Yeah.
So what the ref should have been looking at is they always teach you as a DB that you're supposed to snap your head around and look for the ball. So
Right.
what the ref should have been looking at, instead of it being a bang-bang play, he should have looked at the fact that you could tell that the defensive back never even tried to play the ball. If the guy would have turned his head around and looked up in the air like he was looking for the ball, they don't ever call that. But the fact that he basically ran through the guy, he didn't even play it off like he was trying to play the ball. That's what should have drew the flag.
Right. Right.
But again, I still think Sean Payton blew it for him.
I stand with the refs.
I mean,
I watched that game.
I mean, in these cases, you even do that when you playing Madden. If you was playing if you're playing Madden, the football game, you do that. When you get down to the end of the game, and you could win the game, you just run the ball, or you do the take the knee.
Right,
you
exactly.
take the knee.
Let the clock run out.
Exactly. So what's the day? This is for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and this is the time you want to pick to try to prove to everybody how smart you are. Yeah, I think he blew it, man.
Well, he can show people how smart he is from the couch.